the other day I made a video on Trump, and some people call me Trump hating garbage or something, along those lines. Basically, people that didn't watch the entire video went on a little rant thing, because I talked about Obamagate. Anyway, it wasn't really an in-depth look at the whole situation. I might do one of those like later today or tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But just for this one is for you guys, the anti-Obama boys, because I like to be fair in my criticisms of people. So when I criticize Trump for certain things, I'll do the same for Obama. And in this case, he's done some fraudulent things over this last weekend, and the same can be said for Bolton. So let's just start off with Obama. So he went on Biden's online campaign fundraiser thing, and he had this little monologue. Let's take a look at what he said.
Through the worst recession since the Great Depression, a massive financial crisis. We were still in the midst of two wars. I think, we're overcoming a decade in which the possibilities of common work and common purpose had been diminished and downgraded, and government had been starved of the resources that were needed to make us a more equal and just and compassionate society. And yet, I have to say that the foundation stones, the institutions that we had in place, were still more or less intact. My predecessor, who I disagreed with on a whole host of issues, still had a basic regard for the rule of law and the importance of our institutions' democracy. On the world stage, there was still a sense.
George Bush. This guy's talking about this guy put George Bush and rule of law in the same sentence. The guy that sent the U.S. to Iraq for no reason. He's the man of rule of law, and somehow he's done better than Trump did in terms of rule of law. I don't really see it. So that's a very fraudulent statement by the man himself, and I mean, it's just I've never seen a more blatant lie in my life than what are you talking about? That moment really got me. I wouldn't say it got me laughing like the Trump rally did, but I'd certainly say, I had a little smirk when I heard that, because it's like, what the fuck, this is some serious fraudulence at the highest order. So that was interesting to see. And then on to the next man, the old bureaucratic military recruit, the man that's the icon of right-wing neocon ideologies. That's right. It is John Bolton himself. He wrote a book the other day. Oh, actually, it's been a week now, week or two now. I mean, listen. He literally just exposed himself for the fraud that he is. He says he was angry with Trump because he didn't want to kill innocent civilians in Iran or Iraq. I'm not sure which one it was, but when they attacked the U.S. military base, and that he also didn't want to do very aggressive tactics in Venezuela. Like, what is this guy trying to do? Like, he literally said he left, and he called the most incompetent thing he's ever seen a president do was not kill innocent civilians. Right, there we go, John Bolton. So he's a bit of a fraud. He basically just exposed himself for the fraud he is, essentially. And I don't know why Trump went on all this, like, he's exposing classified information thing, because it just makes him look so guilty. So that just speaks to the just just the inability to see the consequences and just like rash thinking of Trump when he says things like no like the whole idea that Trump wanted to invade Venezuela, or he joked about it. Like, listen, John Bolton, you are the poster boy of invading countries for no reason. If he wanted to ever do that, I have no doubt you'd be 100% behind him and supporting it. And now you're acting like, oh, he's a bad man, even though you're the man that sent us to, he still defends the Iraq War. He still says, you know, no, it was just like, like how? Like, I'm pretty sure 90% of people, or 95, I don't know, the overwhelming majority of people think the Iraq War was just a big waste of time and just cost American and Iraqis innocent lives for no reason, really. It was just, you know, to probably military-industrial complex, give them a few big contracts, and that's about it. Was, you know, make them a few big bucks, and you know, and we've been there ever since. The U.S. has been there for 15 years now, so you know, it's been a nice little journey, and yeah, so this one was for you guys. They call me Trump haters, but you know, it's just to say I treat people with equal criticism, and so when Obama does something bad and fraudulent like this, I will report it the same way I will report when Trump does something fraudulent. So there you go.